10 things you should know before starting your Airbnb business. So there are 10 things, even more, a lot of things you should know before you get started with your Airbnb. Hey, my name is Sandy. I'm a realtor here in the Central Florida area, but I'm also an Airbnb owner, investor, and I teach a lot on Airbnb investing. So today, I haven't been on in a long time because, a few months, because it's just, the market has been really crazy, real estate wise and also in the Airbnb space. So today I wanted to jump on this video really quickly to discuss with you 10 things you should know before you start your Airbnb business. The first number one thing is going to be location. What location are you targeting? Are you researching to see what location you want to target? Do you want to do a location that's closer to where you live so you could manage it? Or do you want to do a location outside of where you are? Like for instance, we have people coming in from Canada, England, and other states, Brazil included, that they operate Airbnb in the Central Florida Disney area, but they don't live here. Some of them self-manage and some of them have a property management company. So location is going to be key. Now you don't have to have an Airbnb in the exact location of where you are. Absolutely not. You could definitely, there's so much technology now that you could manage it from wherever, as long as you have a ground crew. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you decide that you want to have a location in Disney World, in the Disney World area, but you actually live in New York, right? So there's a lot of technology for you to keep eyes on the property, but what you're gonna lack is ground, the people on the floor. Like when the guest checks in and the remote doesn't work, or the light bulb is blown, that kind of thing, right? So you could manage your property, do your own booking, but have a ground team in the area you're in, or in the area that your Airbnb is in, to do the groundwork for you. Okay, so location is going to be key. The next thing is technology, kind of flow into location, right? So the more technology you have, the smarter your Airbnb property is, the easier it will be to manage from anywhere else. What do I mean by that? Like you have to have smart locks, that's a given. You want to have a smart thermostat, right? So you can manage the thermostat from wherever you are. You want to have 2 exterior cameras. If it's a pool home, for an example, or a home, you want to have one in the front and you want to have one in the back. If you have a Ring doorbell in the front, then you want to have one in the back because you want to keep eyes on the property. You want to have a technology called NoiseWare. And NoiseWare is a software that will detect the level of noise in your Airbnb. So if there's a party going on, you'll have a ding on your phone and you will know, right? They give a certain range for what the noise level should be. Once it starts to go up above that, then it's fine. That's when it will alert you. Now, I know you're thinking, well, what if somebody just laughed out loud, or they just decide to play music a little bit louder than usual and that kind of stuff? Well, guess what? The minute you get an alert in the NoiseWare system, it will tell you for how long that noise level increased, right? So if they're just having fun and just laughing, the laughing will last for just so many minutes and then it will stop. But if the noise level is high and is consistently high, then you know you should probably check on your cameras to see what's going on at the property, or maybe have your ground crew stop by if you are not in the area, if you're managing from somewhere else, and see what's going on the property. So technology is important. There's 2 new they're not really new, but there's 2 more technologies that I would definitely recommend. One is if you have a pool home, or if you have a pool in your Airbnb, then you want to automate it. What do I mean by that? Of course, if you're a property management company, they will go and check on the property and all that great stuff. But if you have it automated, you could have an app on your phone where you could control the timing, so you could see what time it's being running for. You could turn the pool heat on and off from an app, right? So all this stuff you can manage on your phone, and I'll definitely recommend that, right? Another cool thing is nowadays with all this technology going on, you're able to set up different rules when you set up your smart thermostat and your smart lock and your smart alarm. So what that means is there's a program that you could program your thermostat where if the sliding door or all the exterior doors are open for an extended period of time, the thermostat will send a signal to the air conditioning system to shut it off, right? So the air conditioning system will be shut off, and then it will not come back on until all those exterior doors are closed. Here in Florida, in the Disney area, we have a lot of sliding doors, right? And if you have a pool home, more than likely you're going to open the sliding door to get to the pool. A lot of time when guests are in the home, they'll open the sliding door to get to the pool, but they won't close the door back. So then you have your AC just going on and on and on and on, right? So with that smart technology, you decide how many minutes you want it to be turned off. So you could program it where it says, if the sliding door is open for more than 5 minutes or any exterior door is open for more than 5 minutes, I want you to shut the air conditioning system down. Once it gets shut down, it will not come back on until they close it. So there's a few companies that do that, which is great. So I absolutely suggest you do that. In Florida, no matter where you are in Florida, air conditioning is a big deal, right? We actually use air conditioning most maybe 10 days out of the year we might use heat, but the rest is air conditioning. So most of the time we're using air conditioning, you want to be able to control your bills. Technology is important, right? Automating the pool should have been number 3, but I jumped ahead of myself like I always do. So number 3 would be automating your pool so you could set the runtime. Now let's talk about that for a little bit, because I get a lot of questions on this. When it comes to your pool, I would say typically you want to run your pool for 6 to 8 hours a day if there's no pool heating going on. So typically for most of my pools, I do 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., right? That's how we run it, 10 to 4. In the summertime, we might run it a little bit longer. Now, if the guest paid for pool heat, you want to run the pool longer, because the longer the pool is running, the more the pool will be heated. So if someone is paying for pool heat, you may want to run it 10 to 12 hours that day, right? So or for their stay. So that way they know that the pool is going to be consistently heated. It does not have to run 24 hours to stay heated. It just needs 10 to 12 hours, and it depends upon the day. Because in a very hot summer day, 8 hours might be sufficient, right? So that's why you want to have it automated, so you can control your utility bill. Because we also do property management ourselves, and there's a lot of property management companies as well. And if you want to have eyes, even if you have a property management company, if you want to have eyes on your property, then automating the pool is a great idea, because you can literally see what's going on from your app on your phone. So that's important. The sliding door lock is number 4. We already discussed that. And that is where you send a message to your smart thermostat to make sure you tell it, if any exterior door is open for an extended period of time, we want you to turn the AC system off. So that way you're not in charge for air conditioning, cooling outside, right? And then once they close it, then it will be turned back on. Another thing I would say is having extra additional sleeping, right? So let's say if you had a 4-bedroom home. A 4-bedroom home, typically they're thinking that you're sleeping 2 people per room, so 2 guests per room. So a 4-bedroom would probably fit 8 people. But what I would also suggest is getting a pull-out queen sofa so you could sleep 10, right? Because when people are coming down, sometimes they're having 2 or 3 different families coming together, and there's more people. So the more people you sleep, the more money you'll make, because the more you could charge as well, right? Of course, it's more wear and tear in the home, but at the same time, you're getting more money. And if you're managing it correctly or having it managed correctly, then that should not be a problem at all. So I would definitely suggest a queen sleeper in the living room, or pull-out couch. If you're gonna do a pull-out couch, by the way, I'm from Jamaica, so some of my words are gonna be really crazy, but I know what I'm saying. Hopefully you're understanding what I'm saying, right? So you want to have a pull-out couch, and with the pull-out couch, I would suggest a memory foam mattress. So you know how the pull-out couches come with these weird, some of them, because now we have Ashley's and Rooms to Go and other furniture stores that actually have better mattresses on the pull-out sofas. If you happen to get a pull-out sofa and it doesn't have a memory foam mattress, I would suggest you go to Amazon, and I would suggest you definitely change out that mattress to a pull-out, to a memory foam mattress on the pull-out sofa. Okay, so if it's a wimpy mattress that came with your pull-out couch, throw that out, go to Amazon and get a memory foam mattress for your pull-out couch. It's about pre-COVID it was $150. I don't know what it is now. I'm doing this video in 2023, 2022. Oh my God, this is crazy. Anyway, we're in 2022 and there's some serious COVID prices going on, right? Everything has gone skyrocketed up. So pre-COVID it was $150 for such a memory foam mattress, but it's worth every penny, because then you could advertise you have a pull-out sofa with a memory foam mattress. Okay, let's talk about property management. That's number 6. We're doing 10 things that you should know before starting your Airbnb business, and now we're on number 6. Number 6 is having the correct property management company. We do property management ourselves, but we give our guests 2 choices. I mean our customers, not our guests, our customers that are doing their Airbnb, right? We give them two choices. They could do their own booking and we do just their groundwork for them, or we could take on the booking and the groundwork, and we charge differently based upon the home, the size of the home, and the location, and you know, what does it involve, right? The gated communities are a little bit different because we have to have a monitoring going on the gates, like each time somebody come in and out and all that kind of stuff. But we do give our customers choices, our clients choices. Do you want to do your own bookings and we just take care of your groundwork? Or do you want to just give us the whole thing and we do everything for you, right? So the property management is going to be important. You got to make sure your property management is staying on top of things. And what I mean by that is making sure the property is maintained. A lot of times when guests checks into the home, they have their suitcases, and the suitcases gets thrown against the walls as they come out with their suitcases, and it creates a lot of scuff marks on the walls. We don't want to, another guest checks in and they start seeing scuff marks. It's not going to look good, right? Think about if you check into a hotel room. You check into a hotel, all the walls are painted, everything looks good, as opposed to checking into a hotel and you check into your room and there's all kind of scuff marks and stuff going on there, right? So I always suggest, if you buy new construction for Airbnb, you want to make sure you go ahead and repaint that home into semi-gloss or a satin paint finish, because that way we're able to wipe the walls off. Like you could use Mr. Clean and get off the scuff marks and wipe the marks off really well. However, if you have flat paint on the wall, it's very hard to clean that wall with flat paint, right? And you don't want to keep repainting it, because what happens is if the paint, let's say you painted the home 5 years ago, and now this is here 5, and there's some scuff marks and it's flat paint, and you're trying to paint out the scuff mark, even though it's the same exact color paint, you're gonna see that mark. Because the reason being, the here on the wall is, the paint on the wall is 5 years old, and now you're putting new paint on top of a 5-year-old paint, even though it's the same color. So unless you do like a square design or something, it's gonna show. So if you have a satin or a semi-gloss finish or something to that effect, and you have marks on the wall, it's easier for you to wipe those marks off. And suitcase marks are a big deal, right? So you want to make sure the property is maintained for that. Let's talk about the pool deck. The pool deck, for the most part, are normally painted in a lighter color. I paint mine in darker colors, but normally in lighter colors, right? So the pool deck gets a lot of dirt and stuff on it, right? And if that's not power washed regularly, after a while it's just dirty and nasty. It does not look good. And you don't want your guests to check into your vacation pool home, and when they step out on the pool deck, it's all dirty and nasty. This is just not a good idea. So you want to make sure that your property management company is staying on top of that. What I do for for most of our owners and our own pool decks, we do it into a darker color, and then we leave the edge of the pool, like 12 inches in from the edge of the pool, we leave that in a lighter color so people could see where the edge of the pool is, and then from that in we do a darker color, because the darker color hides the dirt better, right? And it doesn't show that when you have a lighter color and you power wash it after a period of time, the paint starts to get away from, you know, the power washing is stripping the paint off the patio, and it doesn't look good, and you're not always able to paint it back immediately because you might have so many guests checking in and out. That's something you want to take, you would definitely want to look into. Number 7 is going to be upgrades, right? We want to keep our property maintained. If you think about a hotel, they're always a good hotel, like Hilton, Marriott, and all those different hotels. Every time you go there, it's almost as if nothing changed. Have you ever checked into the same Marriott or the same Hilton or the same whatever hotel, Holiday Inn, and you check in and you're like, it always looks the same, right? It doesn't look like it's scuffy, doesn't look like it's worn, the carpet doesn't look torn up, it looks the same. You want your Airbnb property to have that same look. Every time somebody checks into your Airbnb, it should look like it's brand new. All the pictures you have online that you're showing your Airbnb property in light of, it should look like that every single time, right? Every single time. And it's not very hard to achieve that, guys, but everything has to do with maintenance. You have to maintain the property. Your property management company has to maintain the property. You have to maintain the property. If your property management company is saying, hey, we might need to get new sheets, plates, dishes, whatever it is, after a period of time, new dishcloth maybe you might need to steam the carpet is now worn, you may want to think about taking out those carpet and putting down vinyl engineered flooring or something, but you have to stay on top of the upgrades. Sometimes as a real estate agent, I'm showing properties, Airbnb properties to my investors, and we walk in and they're telling us, hey, don't touch anything because we have a guest checking in this evening. And we're looking on the property like, you're gonna have a guest checking into this? Are you serious? Right? So maintenance is very important. Pay attention also to your guest feedback. Whenever guests are giving you feedback, don't get offensive. Don't get defensive. Defensive, what I meant to say. Don't get defensive immediately. If the guest is saying, hey, we stayed in the home and we noticed, blah, 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 pay attention to that. Sometimes guests can be ridiculous with some of the stuff they say, and I understand that. Sometimes they're just trying to get over, or sometimes they're trying to get a free stay. But sometimes it's a valid point. If more than one guest is saying the same thing, then you may want to look into that. And the reason why I say this is because the guests are living in the home, right? You might go in the home, you decorate the home, everything is done, but have you lived in it? Because when you live in it, you might notice things. Maybe the fridge might make a sudden noise at 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't know that, right? So whenever guests are telling you things, definitely take your guest feedback and think about that. Let's talk about supplies, which is number 9. Number 9 is supplies. Okay, what are you gonna supply to your guests? This is important. Are you gonna do shampoo, conditioners, body wash, lotion? Are you gonna be supplying them with a few extra garbage bags, maybe? What supplies are you gonna be leaving out for them, right? Are you gonna be leaving snacks? Are you gonna leave a bottle of wine? You gotta think about this. What kind of experience do you want to give them? Like for us, we leave a bottle of wine because we have a local winery. So we always get a bottle of wine from that local winery. And we also give them snacks, right? And if they have a special occasion, we might decorate the home a little bit for that decoration, for that occasion. So you got to be careful. You got to know what supplies you want to give them. I normally tell each guest that we give them a starter kit. So we give them like a few dishwashing tablets, a dishwashing liquid, a few garbage bags, tissue, paper towel, all that great stuff. And then we also leave the wine and the snacks as well. So you got to decide on that. And number 10, which is the last one, I left it for last, but it's definitely the most important. It should have been number 1 or right below location, is your cleaners. Your cleaners are going to make and break your business. Your location and your cleaners, those two things are going to make and break your business. You have to have a reliable cleaner. They have to clean well. Someone needs to go behind the cleaners when they're finished cleaning to check behind them. You have to have that. If you're doing a property management company, they should send someone to check behind the cleaners. Because if somebody comes in, and it doesn't matter how beautiful your home is and how many snacks and wine you leave for the guests, if they come in and they see dirt and it's not clean, it's going to be a major turn off, especially now that we're living in a COVID environment, guys. So your cleaners are going to be super important, super duper important. Pay your cleaners accordingly. That way, they will want to work. They will clean. If you have regular cleaners and you keep getting 5 stars for cleanliness, give your cleaners bonuses. We give our cleaners a bonus every time we get a 5-star on cleanliness. Why? Because we want to encourage them to clean better. They may be having a bad day and they don't feel like cleaning. We don't want them to take it out on us and on the house. We want the house to be kept well, right? So those are the 10 tips. I hope you get some information from that. If you ever have any questions for us, give me a call, 407-791-4713. A Central Florida licensed realtor / Airbnb investor / Airbnb property manager, right? I wear a lot of hats, right, guys? But thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, reach out to us, give us a call with any of your questions. We love to schedule Zoom calls with our out-of-state inquiries. We could schedule a Zoom call with you and we could go over everything that we just discussed and tell you how it is to get your first Airbnb property or maybe your 10th Airbnb property. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.